Hey everyone, I'm DT10, and in this video I'll be showing you how to build the first Doctor's TARDIS in vanilla Minecraft. So this is the TARDIS that we'll be building in this tutorial. So this is the exterior, and as you can see it's a little bit different from some of my other tutorials, the main changes being these two things here, but I'll get to that once we start building it. If you'd like to make it in a similar theme to all of my others, this is how you do it. You just swap out these two bits here, and then as you walk into the TARDIS, this is the interior that we will be building in this tutorial. So this TARDIS is quite small in comparison to some of my other ones, and therefore we will be building this entire thing in this video. So let's get started. So to start with, we're going to be building the exterior. So first of all, you're going to need a command block, and dig 2 blocks down and place a command block facing up like that. In this command block, you need to write the command /TP at P like this, and then you need to put the coordinates of your interior. So obviously your coordinates will look different to mine. However, I can recommend setting this Y coordinate 1 block above the ground like this. So as you can see, I'm at Y101 right now, and I've put it Y102 so that we can build a floor a lot more easily. Once you've written this command, click done, and then place cyan terracotta on top of it. Place another cyan terracotta like that, and then go all the way around the edge like this. Raise it up by 3 blocks. You should now have something that looks like this. Make sure you get these 2 off like that, and then punch 1, 2, 3, 4 holes like that, so that it looks like this. You then need your iron bars, and you're going to place the iron bars in the holes you've just punched. Once you've done that, get a sea lantern and place it on top in the middle like that, with an iron trapdoor on top like that. You can then also go inside and place a sea lantern like this. You then need a dark oak door, or any door if you'd prefer, and you're just going to place it there like that. So we're now going to be doing this, and you can just get a normal item frame and place a map in it like this. So as you can see, I've built this map, and I got a little bit lazy towards the end. Just to give you an example of what it could look like though, I've got my police telephone, free for use of public, and then some squiggly stuff. So if you're up for it, you could do this entire thing. So you could have all of the writing here, the pull to open at the bottom, and I think this effect is really good. So you just need to make one of these. I've locked my map, and then you just place it in the item frame like that, and it creates a really nice effect. So if you're in survival mode, it would be very hard to make this map, and if you don't want to go to all the effort of doing that, instead you can just use a birch sign. So to do that, you just need to write police telephone like this, then all in capital letters, you need to put free like that, for use of on the next line, and then finally public like that. Click done, and that's what your sign should look like. However, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to be replacing that with this new design. So the next thing we're going to be doing is grabbing some dark oak signs, and you're going to come to this block here, and what you're going to do is go down to the second line, and all in capital letters once again, you're going to write police like that. You're then going to come to the second sign here, and still on the second line, you're going to put public cool in all in lowercase apart from the first letters like that. Finally, you're going to place a box on the last one, all in capital letters like that. You're then going to grab some white dye and dye all of these signs white. Once it looks like that, repeat this on all 4 sides. However, something I haven't shown in one of my videos that I do is if you control middle click these 3 signs like that, you can just place them on all 4 sides like that without having to type them all again. Once you've got that, the only thing left is the St. John ambulances sign here, and we're going to be using a snowball for that. Now you can just place a normal item frame and a snowball inside like that. However, if you'd like to go one step further, what you can do is make this item frame invisible. So to do that, you're going to write the following command in chat: /give @self item frame like this, and then you're going to put a curly bracket, I'm not sure what else to call these, then you're going to put entity tag just like this, with these 2 letters being capitals here. You're then going to put a colon, and you're then going to put another bracket like that, invisible, with the I being a capital like that. You're then going to put another colon and go 1B like that, and then you're going to end it off by putting 2 squiggly brackets at the end. Once you do that, you should get this item frame, and it will look like any other item frame. However, when you place it, it should look like this, so it should look like there's nothing there. However, you can then place your snowball inside like that, and that is your TARDIS exterior complete. Now, just to check, if you walk in, and I've forgotten the pressure plate, just grab any sort of pressure plate, it doesn't really matter. I like to use a polished blackstone one, place it on top like there, and then if you walk in, you should teleport to where you want to build your interior. So just before we move on to the interior, there's one more thing to do. So enter your TARDIS exterior like this, and stand on the same block as the door, like this, directly in the middle. Press F3, and apologies if you're on Bedrock, you won't be able to do this step, but type in your exact coordinates. So 2000 like that, 0.522 and make sure you write the decimal point. Do the same for your Y and Z, and then we can move on to the interior. So you're now ready to move on to the interior, so make sure you're standing on the exact block you teleport to and go one block backwards like this. You're then going to dig one block under like that and place a command block facing up. In this command block, you're going to put TP at P like that, and then what you're going to do is look at the coordinates you wrote in chat earlier. As you can see there, you need to put these exact coordinates into your command block. Once you've done that, click done and then get some light grey concrete and place it on top like that. You're then just going to get a stone pressure plate and place it like that. So just to check, when you now exit your TARDIS like this, you should end up directly in your exterior. And when you go in, you should end up on this block with that pressure plate behind you like that. So to start with, for this interior, you're going to grab any block. It doesn't matter what block it is, and you're going to come to the block behind the pressure plate like this and go one up like that. You're then going to go to either side of this block, creating a 5 like that with the middle being aligned with the pressure plate. You're then going to go up a further 4 blocks like that and round it off to create a square. Fill all of this in. Once you've got this square of any blocks you want, you're going to grab your bone blocks, and this is what will be acting as our roundels. So if you place the block on this further block like that, you'll get this texture, and you can't place them on the underside, otherwise you'll get this texture. So what you need to do is to place them on all of the blocks you've placed apart from these two. Once you've got something that looks like this, you're then going to punch away these 2 blocks like that, come behind it like this, and place a further 2 random blocks like that. You're then going to get your blown blocks once again and just place 2 like that. This is your first wall complete. Now, because we're going to be making this roundel design across the entirety of the TARDIS, you're going to need a lot of temporary blocks. So we're now basically going to outline the entire TARDIS using these blocks. So first of all, you're going to come to this block here and then go out 1 like this. So you've got a temporary block here. Place another one and destroy that one, and that's your first temporary block. Go 2 across like that, then create another 2 across like that. Then another 2 across like that. However, there will be some bone blocks here. So what you can do is just tower up like that, as we do actually want this texture for these bone blocks. You're then, with your temporary blocks, going to tower up a further 4 blocks. Once you've done this, you're going to do the exact same thing we did here, and you're just going to place all of your bone blocks on the side. So these 2 should align perfectly, and once you've done that, it should look like this. So we're now going to move on to this side, and the reason I'm not just saying repeat it is because unlike my other TARDISes, this one isn't circular and it definitely isn't symmetrical. This side follows a very different thing. So you're actually going to be using this texture for this side, so you don't need to place any temporary blocks. However, what I can recommend is, as we've built this 1 block above the floor, as we're going to be placing a floor in later, it basically just means you don't have to destroy all of these blocks and then place them. What I can recommend you do is still do an outline just on the bottom, and you don't have to tower all the way up. I hope that made sense, because it probably didn't. So basically, what you're going to do is go 1, 2, 3 like that. Make sure it's aligned with this. And what this means is you can then place bone blocks on the top like that, instead of having to place a 6th one underneath like that. You're then going to go 1, 2 out like that, another 2 out like that. Once you've got this, you're then going to get your bone blocks and just place the bone blocks on top of all of these like this. This is the start of your TARDIS. We're now going to fill in the floor for pretty much the whole thing, and you're going to need a lot of light grey concrete. So first of all, you're going to fill these 2 blocks in with light grey concrete, and then you're going to place a sea lantern on these 2 with light grey carpet on top like that. You're then going to do a full row of light grey concrete and another full row of light grey concrete, making sure you fill in this block as well. Now, in the future, we will be replacing these 2 blocks here with gold blocks, so you can do that now if you'd like to. But we're now going to get white concrete, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3 like that on the first one. You're then going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again like that. And you're going to finish off this small circle by going 1, 2, 3 on there like that. You should have this. You're then going to get your grey concrete, and you're going to do exactly the same thing you did here, however replicated in this space. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and finally 1, 2, 3. You're then going to fill in the surrounding area with light grey concrete. Now, since we don't have all of our walls yet, I'd just like to point out you can go 1, 2, 3 blocks out from this grey area like this on both sides. You're now going to get your sea lanterns once again, and you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks like that and replace them with sea lanterns, and then you're just going to get your grey carpet this time and go 1, 2, 3, 4 on top like that. Finally, just before we move on, you're going to do this same lighting technique again, but in these two corners here. So you're going to go 1, 2 like that with light grey concrete this time, because your carpet always corresponds with the other colour. So this obviously isn't the floor completed. However, to make it a bit easier, we're now going to come back to our walls. And apologies that this TARDIS is in a bit of a strange order. It just makes it easier to build it in this order later on. So we're going to start with this side. So you're going to need your temporary blocks once again. And what you're going to do is make it to this space here. So you should have one block here, and that's where you're going to be placing your bone blocks like that. You're then going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 like that, and bring it up a further 4 blocks like that, and fill all of this space in. Once you've got your temporary blocks, we're going to do the exact same thing we did here and place all of our bone blocks. Make sure you've still got this texture. You should end up with something that looks like this. We're now going to do this side. So first of all, you're actually going to need quartz pillars. You're going to place any old block under like that, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with your quartz pillars like that. Place some more temporary blocks underneath if you want to. And then what you're going to do is with your bone blocks, make the exact same texture you did here. So you're going to tower up like this. However, you're now going to leave 2 spaces in the middle like this. And what we're basically doing here is creating a little doorway. So you're now going to come 1, 2, 3 blocks up like that, and place 1, 2 quartz slabs like that. You're then going to get your bone blocks and tower up these further 2 blocks. And then this bit, because it is symmetrical, you're just going to place 1 more quartz pillar on the edge like this. What you're next up going to do is just get some more temporary blocks behind here, and you're just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that, and you're going to place bone blocks on there like this. That was a little bit fast paced, but you should end up with something that looks like this. Finally, you're going to place 2 more temporary blocks like that, and tower all the way up with bone blocks on these 2 ones as well, and you should be directly in line with your other wall. We're now just going to finish off this little floor by going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 with light grey concrete all the way across. So you're now going to need some temporary blocks once again. You're just going to go 1, 2 on either side like this. You're then, with some bone blocks, going to tower up like this on both sides. Now, the next thing we're going to be doing is creating what I can only describe as a little cabinet at the back of the TARDIS. So first of all, with blocks of quartz, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the other side like that. You're then on the top going to place an entire row of quartz slabs, and then on the next block underneath, but make sure it's on the bottom of the block like this, you're going to place another row of quartz slabs. So you're now going to come behind it like this, and you're going to need your temporary blocks once again. And what you're going to do is place 1 underneath like that. You're going to skip a block like that and place another one, skip a block once again and place another one, and skip a block and place another one. You should have 4 temporary blocks like this. With your quartz pillars, you're then going to go 1, 2 on all of these temporary blocks, and then remove them. From this side, it should look like this. Now, the strange thing is, because of the placement of these slabs, it looks like this quartz pillar is just 1 block. However, it's actually 2. You're now going to come round to the other side like this, and you're going to place 1, 2, 3 quartz slabs in between them like that. You're then, with blocks of quartz, going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2 like that. And then finally, with sea lanterns, you're going to go on top of these blocks like that. So you should end up with 3. This is what it should look like from underneath. You're then going to get your light grey concrete, go all the way along like that, and then with glass panes, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to go all the way across so you have a small square of glass panes. Repeat it on the other side, and you should end up with something that looks like this. Finally, with your glass panes, you're just going to come behind and go 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 like that. So we're now going to creating the walls and floor of this small cabinet area here. So you're going to come to this corner here, and you're going to come out 1 block with your temporary blocks, and you're going to go 1, 2, 3 across like that, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks up like that. Fill all of this in, and then do the same on the other side. Once you've got this, fill in your bone blocks for all of these temporary blocks, and then you're going to finish off these walls just by using blocks of quartz, and you're just going to go all the way along the back like this and raise it up by a further 3 blocks. Coming back in like this, you're just going to need your light grey concrete and just fill in the entirety of the floor like this. So just a side note, if you're in survival and you're trying to conserve blocks, you can actually break this bone block here and the same on the other side, as they won't actually be visible. But now you're going to need quartz slabs, and massive apologies for this, I completely forgot. You need to destroy these 3 blocks of quartz and replace them with a slab. You're then going to create an L shape of slabs. Make sure they're on the top of the block like this. So you're going to do it on this side here, put one in the middle like that, put one in there like that, and then you're going to create another L here. This is what it should look like. You're then going to turn these slabs here into whole blocks just by placing another one underneath like that. And then this is your basic roof. You're now going to get your sea lanterns. And what you're going to do is place one block there like that, one in the middle like this, and one on the end. And then fill in all of these blocks here with blocks of quartz. So this is what your roof should look like. It should be completely slanted. You should have some slabs in here like that and some sea lanterns across the top like that. Now, all that's left is some details in here. So first of all, you're going to need blocks of quartz, quartz stairs, and polished blackstone buttons, and you're going to place 1, 2, 3 like that. And this is a basic food cube design, and these are seen in the first and I think second Doctor's TARDIS interiors, and they're just nice little details. You're going to then do the same on the other side like this, and we're then going to move on to decorating this main wall. So for this, you're going to need oak buttons, levers, and tripwire hooks, and I can recommend doing it in the pattern I show you in this tutorial. However, you can do them randomly across this wall if you want to. So first of all, you're going to come to this block here and go 1, 2, 3, 4 with your oak buttons like that. You're going to place an oak button in either corner like that. You're going to place a second oak button in this corner next to that one, and you're then going to go 1, 2, 3 like an L shape like that. Finally, for the buttons, you're going to come to this block here and you're going to place 1, 2 buttons like that. Now for the levers. So you're only actually going to need 3 levers for this design. You're going to place one in the bottom corner like that, another one up there like that, another one up there like that, and then finally another one down here, but make sure this one is flicked onwards. Finally, you're going to need 4 tripwire hooks, and you're going to place one underneath here like that, one at the very middle like that, one on the end here like that, and then finally one on the inside of this backwards L like that. This is the detailing of your cabinet complete. We're now going to move on to the details of the main TARDIS. So you're first of all going to come back to your entrance, and as I said, we're going to be replacing these 2 blocks on the floor here with blocks of gold. You're then going to go 1, 2, and 1, 2 with acacia fence, and finally you're going to place a light-weighted pressure plate on top like that. Next up, we're going to be making a small chair, so you need to come to this block here, 1 block out diagonal from this carpet. You're going to place a single block of scaffolding with some brown carpet on top like that, and finally you're going to get a spruce trapdoor and right click on the carpet like that and flick it upwards. This is our chair. Finally, for our smaller details, you're going to need dark oak planks, dark oak fence, and yellow glazed terracotta. And you're going to come to this block here, so 2 blocks out from this grey carpet. You're going to replace this floor block with some dark oak planks, and then going to go 1, 2 with your dark oak fence, and finally place a yellow glazed terracotta on top like that. We're now going to be moving on to the console of this TARDIS. So what you're going to do is come to the middle of this circle here, and you're going to place a block of quartz. You're then, with quartz slabs, going to go all the way around this, like this, creating a square. You're then going to place a glass block in the middle like that, and you're going to get 2 polished blackstone buttons on either side like that. With your item frames, you're then going to go 1, 2 underneath like that, and you're then going to need a completely white map. Now, this was fairly easy for me as I'm in a quartz world, however, this might be a little bit harder for you, so you may want to use some different design techniques for your console overall. However, I think these ones give the best aesthetics. You're going to place a map in either of these item frames like this. It can be a little bit hard to see with a map in your hand like that, and then you're going to place a redstone comparator facing outwards like that. You're going to need 2 levers like this, both of them need to not be powered, and you're then going to place a polished blackstone pressure plate on this block here. Place some redstone dust on this central block here, and then you're going to need another one of those invisible item frames. So you can either run the same command again, which I'm going to have to do, or if you've done this all in the same session, then you can just keep pressing the up arrow until you get to your command. Once you've got this invisible item frame, you're going to place it on the only remaining block on this console like that, and you're going to place a compass inside of it and rotate this compass so it's facing outwards like that. This is the decoration of your console complete. Now, this is by far the most complicated of all of these decorations. So you're just going to need some black concrete to start with, and going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 like that. You're then going to do the same on the other side, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, as I was saying in the last bit, if you want to be conservative, you can get rid of all the bone blocks behind it on both sides and the concrete underneath. So the reason this one is so complicated is because we're now going to be making some banner patterns. So first of all, you're obviously going to need to place down a loom, and you're going to need some grey banners and some white banners, and then some black dye, some white dye, and some grey dye. So first of all, you're going to need one of your grey banners like this, and you're going to get your white die like this, and you're going to go with the left hand side pattern like this, the middle pattern like that, and the left and the right hand side, pattern like that. You're then going to need your black die, and you're going to go with a line directly through the middle. Finally, you're going to need your grey die, and you're going to go with this pattern here like that, and then you're going to go with the pattern that goes all the way around the outside like that. You should end up with this banner. Now, if you're doing this in creative mode, you can just keep this banner and keep placing it, and you won't need to make any more. However, if you're doing this in survival mode, you're going to need 4 of these banners. So we're then going to make a very similar banner. So you're going to start the same, however, you're going to do it with black instead of white. So you're going to do exactly the same thing. You're going to go with that design on the left, that design on the middle, and then that one on the right. You're then going to get your white die, however, it's basically an inverted one, and you're going to go with that down the middle like that. And then finally, with your grey die, you're going to opt for this pattern, and then finally the one that goes all the way around the outside. And you should end up with a pattern that's completely inverted. You're then also going to need 4 of these if you're doing it in survival. So we're now going to making another banner pattern. However, this time it's going to be a white one. So put your white banner in like that, and then with your black die, you're going to select this one, the black pale. Then put it back in, and with your white die, you're just going to select the white pally. So once you've done this, it should look like this. You're going to need 6 of these ones total. So once you've got these 3 banners, you're now going to be placing them on this black concrete box like this. So starting with the white banner, you're going to go 1, 2, 3 like that, and do exactly the same on the other side. And then with your grey banner, which is the white one like this, you're going to go 1, 2 like that. And then with the remaining gaps, you're going to go 1, 2 with the black one. Do this on this side as well. These 2 things are called light boxes, and this is your light box design complete. Now, to finish this off, all we're going to be doing is placing another 2 of our sea lantern and carpet tricks here, and then also here. Once you've got these 2 carpet and sea lantern tricks in like that, you're then going to get some redstone dust, and you're going to create a wire leading from this light box to the console. So you're going to go 1, 2 with redstone dust, another 2 down like that, and then finally 1 into the console like that. This is almost all of your decoration complete. We've now just got 1 more, which actually goes here. So you can make this block a full block, and then you're going to need another map. So this is actually the monitor of this TARDIS. So first of all, you're going to place an item frame like that, and then you're going to need a map that looks like this. Now, you can make it a little bit more complicated if you want to, but this is basically it. So you've got a white background, a smaller black square, and an even smaller white square in the middle. Place it on the item frame like that, and that's your final detail complete. This is pretty much your TARDIS complete. Now all it needs is a roof, and what you're going to do is very, very simply just go across the entire thing with black concrete. Once you've got this roof in place, your TARDIS is so close to completion. However, there's just one more thing we need to add, and that's a sort of fan design that goes on the roof here. So come to the direct center of your white circle on the floor here, and punch the block above you. You then need to punch a further 4 blocks around it, so 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, and put sea lanterns in these holes. You then need to come back underneath and place a block of quartz in the middle 1 block down, and then you need to go 1, 2, 3, 4 underneath the sea lanterns with iron bars. You then need to get your blocks of quartz once again and go 1, 2, 3, 4 in the gaps here, and then to finish it off with iron trapdoors on the iron bars here, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Now make sure they're facing up, because what we're now going to do is come above like this, and then we're going to get any sort of redstone power source. I'm just going to use a lever. However, you could use something like a block of redstone, and directly on top of all of these trapdoors, you're going to power them. So once you've powered those trapdoors, it should look like this from underneath, and that is now your TARDIS complete. So feel free to personalize this TARDIS in any way. So one of the best personalization techniques I've found is if you get any sort of pressure plate, what you can do is place 2 of them under the doorway like this, and then when you step on the pressure plates, you can either get teleported using command blocks, or you could even make this a properly functional piston door, and then you can have as many rooms as you want leading off from this TARDIS, just like it is in the show. So I've had a really fun time designing this TARDIS, and I hope you've had a good time building it. It's been quite a detailed one, but I think it's turned out really well. So that's it for this tutorial. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please leave a like or comment, and if you'd like to see more content like this, then please subscribe. But I've been DT10, and I will see you in the next video.